Well, buckle up your turbos and get your family into go position. It's the Fast and the Furious episode. I had seen a grand total of none of them before this podcast. I believe it was like 7 years ago. I don't remember that far back. But we had Cait Moldenhauer and Meredith Nein of the There Will Be Porn podcast, which I highly recommend everyone go check out. This was a cultural touchstone that I had been avoiding and that I had made Don't Mind If I Don't specifically to finally force myself to take it. So let's see what I learn about Vin Diesel and family. And maybe you'll learn something too. You won't. You might.
You may love a thing that I can't stand. Spiders, tofu, watching Homeland. Our interests are all varying. It's fun to be contrarian. But I'll try things that you all love to see if I can rise above. But maybe there's a chance that I just won't. So in that case, don't mind if I don't.
Welcome to Don't Mind If I Don't. I'm your host, Aaron Gold, and this is the show where I don't like things, and fans and experts come on and convince me why I'm wrong, so I can stop being like an old fucking curmudgeon about every goddamn thing in the world, and kind of get my own head out of my ass. I'm trying to be a better person. I know I can be. And today we're going to talk about one of the most asinine things we've discussed yet, the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Joining me today.
There's asses in this, lots of asses in this series.
Oh.
And they're about to have the 9th series.
So
it is
that was very apropos.
Oh.
Asinine series. I hope there's more asses in the 9th.
Sorry.
There's...
Sorry, continue.
God, I'm just so full of rage. No. Joining me is Meredith Nein and Cait Moldenhauer, the hosts of the There Will Be Drinking podcasts.
Yes.
Hey.
Hey.
That's us.
Also very
We should
German.
probably say, I'm Cait.
No,
just so they know,
Well, you're not
so our
yeah.
name
and I'm Meredith.
identify
Oh,
with the
okay.
name.
Yeah, we do have
kind
a
of thing.
different voice.
All right. Cait.
Yeah, I'm Cait.
Perfect. And then you're Meredith.
Meredith.
We did it.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right. So the Fast and the Furious franchise. This is Meredith, as you've said, the greatest film franchise ever.
Yeah, of all time.
I think that's extreme, but
Your words. I am quoting you directly.
But
you said, my name is Meredith Nein. Fast and the Furious franchise is the greatest of all time.
I was there for that. It sounds a lot like her.
This is literally my words.
I think there's lots of merits to this series that need to be said.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think it's one of the best franchises of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Marvel movies and all, but
Hell yeah.
this
Hell
is,
yeah, Cait.
Yeah. Okay, we're punching that one. I'm into the Marvel movies, but none of them give me the kind of jump out of your seat, scream at things satisfaction as the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Yeah, I there's a lot of joy. Like, there's not many things that I want to stand up and cheer while watching, and I scream for and root for.
And we've seen sports.
I've seen.
I know a sport or two. Not my fave.
We've seen.
Well, I'll tell you what. Everything that comes through this show gets rated on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 being my ambivalence, 10 being blood-curdling hatred.
Ooh, I don't know what your number is yet, and I'm very excited to find out.
In preparation, and partly also because I had a lot of free time on my hands this week, you guys told me to watch Fast and the Furious 5 and 7.
Yes.
I watched, in order, 1, 5, 7, and 8.
Nice.
Before I watched it, this series was at a 7 on my list.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
After watching these 4 movies, it is at a 4.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm still not a fan. But I see some merits. There are
good.
2 real big positives I noticed.
Okay.
Sure.
One, they're fun.
Yeah.
They're fun.
So
I can't
much
deny it.
fun.
Right.
Sometimes it's nice to sometimes watch the cars go vroom.
I mean,
It's
do
fun.
you like action movies in general?
Yes.
Okay. So like what else are you expecting from these movies?
I won't get to that. Oh my God, I'll get to that.
Yeah, that's fine.
The other positive thing about it that I actually really appreciate from a storytelling standpoint, they know how to make a bad guy good in a short amount of time.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
They have
and
really
a good
great
guy
succinct redemption arcs.
and
I
a
love
good guy bad.
Yeah, they can make you question it.
This people are the most charismatic like thieves and gang of all time that every law enforcement officer they beat, they turn to their side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty much. Mm-hmm. It's like, kids ain't mad at you guys.
I can't. Like you're committing just a number of felonies, but I get it. I get you. You get me. Let's be buddies. Barbecue time.
Yeah. Could I say grace this time? Can I do it? Is my turn? Yeah.
It's like a family film too, you know?
Oh. So before I get to my mountain of complaints, and I will say this, the first one, pretty good.
It's fine.
How did you feel about 5?
5 is why I stopped watching popular movies. Because they're all like fucking that, except it's just, oh my God, fuck Fast and the Furious 5. It's so up its own. And I liked Shoot 'em Up. And this was too over the top for me.
But it can't, the action, that movie, the whole series is actually relatively mild mannered in their action scenes up until
5.
But you know what? That fucking movie is keeping stuntmen employed. They had so much practical effects in that movie.
That's true.
It's amazing.
Granted.
And it's just so much fun. Like when that first scene, like so much of that is not CGI. That first
train. I should say this, by the way. Spoiler alert for up to 7, and then when we talk about 8. No, fuck it. You click the Fast and the Furious one, you know what you're getting into. Spoiler alert for all of them.
What kind of twists are you missing out on?
Oh, yeah. It's the same thing every time.
Yeah.
You see the family again.
Right.
A
Things are
montage,
seemingly good.
a montage team building scene.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the problem with the villain is actually like more
Fleshed
formed,
out.
fleshed
Yeah.
out.
Someone
and
say,
then big final scene. That's it.
And we can't forget this just pivotal moment that happens at least 3 times every one. Just give me any verb.
Running.
Okay. Say, Dom, we can't go running. What are we going to do?
Dom, we can't go running. What are we going to do?
We're going to run. Every time. It is consistent. He just does that in his high voice with insane gravitas, which is a voice is impossible that way.
Okay, well,
Vin Diesel is the whole character that brings another level to the love.
I'm not going to say I don't like it.
Do you want to start? I think I want to hear your negatives before I get into me really trying to before I get into like what I truly love about this series.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the full series or are we talking about 5? Because I could go on about 5.
Oh, okay.
Let's go with the whole series.
All right. The whole series.
I'm sure we'll touch on 5 again.
Sure.
The franchise is porn for everything I hate about masculinity.
Ooh.
Like it's everything that I'm like, I'm trying to be a good ally.
Sure.
And as a cis white male.
Sure.
And this is so much of what I'm like, come on, man. About like that's as eloquently as I can put it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like we can do better. In certain moments of these. Pretty much every scene with what's his name? Roman.
Well, the women, yes.
Tyrese,
Like the actor, hate the character.
Yeah. The series like Michelle Rodriguez, it doesn't give women a lot of agency in general.
No.
Nope.
Michelle Rodriguez actually is like threatening to leave the series if women aren't given more agency or more to do in the series.
Good.
And she probably is like to be fair, the least paid of the group.
Yep.
Yes.
But at the same time, like while it is a representation of masculinity, what action movie isn't? It's doing exactly what the entire like so if we don't like this, then we can't like any action movie in general. But
yes,
and I think we have to acknowledge that this is the 5th most profitable series of all time. It has made over $5 billion across the world, and we have to acknowledge that this is like helmed by an entirely diverse cast.
Is an absolutely fair point.
So while it is like exactly what masculinity is. It's not like toxic masculinity. There isn't like such overt like disgusting scenes that I wouldn't believe that to be happening, and that it would be like generally a problem if I confronted it.
That is a very, very fair point.
So there's nothing that like to me rubs me the wrong way so bad that I can't enjoy watching this film.
As a woman watching this who's conditioned like with American filmmaking,
you and I are
I see the boobs and the butts, and I see that the way the men, particularly Roman and Ludacris, even though I love Ludacris's character, but they both chase women to a certain extent in this way, because the movies really have an air of ridiculousness that they exploit.
Yes.
It's like you're not it's almost like the viewer is not asked to respect that point of view.
Okay. All right. You know what? These are insanely fair points, so I'll remove that from the list. That's off the
wow, we won. One for us. Yeah.
You made one step on a staircase, ladies. Let's not get crazy here.
Okay.
It's all the franchise is just like shoving a big middle finger to all of science and
like physics?
Physics, yeah. I will say, I'll grant you one thing. Like if like the X-Men movies is my example for this. I'll grant you that there are mutant powers. Sure. And you've defined Wolverine's mutant powers. He's strong. He's got metal bones and claws and heels. Mm-hmm. Great. He in X2 cannot stab a guy, fling his arm back, and throw him 30 feet.
Sure.
That is my line. No, you didn't establish that. You don't get that one.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no rule. There is nothing. Everything is on limits.
Oh yeah. Well,
I'll take this one.
I also can I just make one comment real quick?
Of course.
No one wears a seatbelt in this entire series.
No.
Oh my God, you're right.
It's a terrible PSA for car safety.
I didn't even notice.
Yep. No seatbelts.
No seatbelts and no airbag.
It really takes ride or die to a new level. It's basically ride and die.
Ride and or die.
Yeah, ride and mostly about to die, but don't.
Yes.
Ride
continue.
and plan your day around dying.
So, would it be implausible to you for the Fast and the Furious franchise to live in cartoon physics?
No.
Okay, well then I think that explains your negative.
Here's the thing, though. Cartoons, it's easier to buy. I'm a big cartoon fan. Like
sure.
I can buy a lot more of that stuff.
Yeah.
I do think about that too. That was exactly my same analogy in my head.
Yeah,
it's
cartoon physics.
It's like, yeah, it's whatever.
Because I don't think there's any like Mythbusters moment in the movies where they're like, and this happens in real life. They're like, no, we're gonna go crazy on everything.
I
so
mean,
they're
is
not,
there
they're
anything
not claiming it.
Is there anything better than watching that car hop high rises? I don't think so.
I have two favorite scenes.
You're talking about 7?
Yes.
Yeah.
That scene is amazing.
That scene, and there's another scene that just barely tops it. Those are my two favorite. And
the submarine scene.
The submarine scene. Can you just imagine just the way that they have grown? You go back in time. You tell any member of the cast that the film franchise is going to go on past 8 movies, and 8 is so goddamn ridiculous that
they're going to go to space at some point.
That they become secret agents with the help of their friend The Rock.
Yep.
When asked what the hell is going on, Ludacris responds, "We're about to launch a nuclear missile is what the hell is going on."
Right. Mm-hmm.
And they race a goddamn submarine.
Yep.
You tell anyone from 2001, was it?
2001.
The first movie.
First made the
yeah,
first movie?
that this is where that's going.
Well,
What would they fucking think?
But if you think about it, back in 2001, there were no iPhones. Like, we've really just... The Fast and the Furious franchise is a movie of its time. It evolves with us.
Oh, I hate how good a point that is. I really don't like that.
I think it's just... I'm okay with suspending disbelief on all sorts of movies, you know? So, like...
I just don't think there's a point where they establish that anything needs to be believed.
No.
So it's like my feelings about the Fast Five and it being ridiculous is it sets a baseline for we wilded out whatever the verb for that is.
Wilding out.
We wilding out as far as we can possibly go. And then the anticipation, like, what could they possibly do in the next film? There's no way they can top that. And then they do. And then the 7th movie, no way. Yes, the fucking high rises. And then like 8th movie, you're like, no way can they do what they haven't done before. Guess what? The submarine.
Also,
I will say, adding Charlize Theron to anything is going to make it better.
Well, she was like
fine.
ridiculous. The white dress. I have a problem with white
dreads. Yeah, right. She was good though. I mean, she's good in everything, but you know,
I loved the zombie car scene in that movie. That is believable because that is something they're currently concerned about. Is like people being able to hack into computers of
evolves
cars.
with our time.
That's fair.
That's a very even if it doesn't even if that is technically not possible, it's it's a fear that people have about technology.
It's current affairs.
Yes.
I'm just remembering how great it was when Dom is driving down the alleyway, and then at the end of the alleyway, 5 cars staring him down, and also one right behind him. Where the fuck did those come from? And who was the one on the radio going like, "Oh, okay, guys, here's the plan. We'll block it off." But like, let's get cozy. Let's all sneak in there together.
Well, it's just an homage to a classic like Western shootout at high noon. You know,
in a car.
Put it in a car.
What wouldn't be better in a car if it was?
There's some suggestion in this movie that cars can become sentient. So why would they not do that?
I feel like every pitch to every Fast and the Furious movie is blah 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 blah, but with a car.
With a car.
Absolutely.
Right.
Here's my biggest issue with the Fast and the Furious franchise. You do so many great things with action, with representation.
Yeah.
You keep surpassing yourself. Why is your dialogue shit? It doesn't have to be. This is my same problem with like Arrow and Legion of or Legends of Tomorrow on the CW shows. The one of those that I'll watch is The Flash because that one just admits it.
Sure.
And the cast is amazing. But in this day and age, when there's with just a little bit more time, you can tweak that dialogue so it's both fun, clever, and reasonable even. Like The Rock says, I literally could not keep in my response of, "Oh, come now," when The Rock said in 5, the guy's like, is there anything else you need from me? Yeah. Stay the fuck out of my way. I'm like, come on.
Aww.
It's just trope city. And like, what was it when like, all right, here's the bad part, The Rock. Give me the damn veggies. Like that's his metaphor.
Yeah.
Just it doesn't have to be that bad.
I have an argument for this.
I would love.
Do you have one?
No, I think this goes with my like suspending of disbelief thing, and the other argument is like at the same time, like these movies are made like 2 years apart.
Yeah.
And 90% and 80% of the film is action.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I get that all of the money and resources are spent on them choreographing and like creating the practical effects for these of these series,
which are good.
These films
are very, very good.
Yeah. So I think it's just like why that I just can live without the dialogue.
You're willing to sasacrifice the dialogue for all the other goodness.
Yeah, and I think that they could be married, but that would require a larger budget, and like they probably get a big budget, but that budget.
I'm gonna contend with that idea, but I'm with you, Meredith.
Yeah.
I agree that the dialogue is an easy sacrifice to all the amazingness of this franchise.
Yes.
However, sometimes these screenplays have like 7 writers for these fast movies. But
they probably only all work for a month or something.
Yes. And they're all like coked out in a hotel room. Like, what? And there's a plane and he jumps. Oh, wait, he jumped. The cars come out of the plane. Like, it's like, but here's my kind of like conspiracy theory for why this dialogue is so bad. For like the last, I think maybe even 4 movies since 5, they have had this production company, Hua Productions, which is based out of China. And these movies are no longer made for Americans. They're made for a global audience, right?
And I will say, since 5, the dialogue has gotten slightly better.
Okay.
5 was the nattier. But
yes. Yeah.
Keep going.
Well, if you think about the exposure globally to American movies, particularly like a Chinese audience, they haven't been met yet with American tropes. So to them, these things that we find cliched and done too many times, to them is fresh and beautiful.
I mean, is it though? Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's a fair point. I guess these were made to sell. And that's
why they're 80% action.
Yeah.
The less dialogue there is, it's easier to translate.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Action movies are the ones that sell best overseas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know. It just doesn't seem.
It's hard. It's easy to fix it, and like it's frustrating that they don't. Yeah, I agree. I understand.
Well, I love The Rock. I follow him on Instagram. I watch all his videos.
Listen, we all love The Rock.
Everyone loves The Rock.
I would say the biggest contribution of this series was making The Rock and Vin Diesel American sweethearts.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah.
Two men of color as well.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah. They should run on a ticket together, but they hate each other. So
do they?
That's too bad. Yes. It's
The Rock and Vin
gossip.
Diesel. Oh,
they're not in a lot of.
This.
That's why in like the last movie, they're not in like a lot of scenes together.
It's more, I think, that Vin hates The Rock more than, because I don't feel like The Rock can honestly hate anybody. I don't think he has it in him.
Why?
Vin likes to be the star.
Well, Vin has the producer credit. He's basically made this franchise, and he agrees to do every movie only on conditions. Like he gets another Chronicles. He gets another Chronicles of Riddick movie. Yeah. They greenlight another one of these series. He gets a producer credit. Like Vin Diesel has made more money than
anybody on these movies,
because between this and also Guardians as Groot. Like
one thing
Chronicles of Riddick, Triple X movies. This man is a genius.
Yeah,
and has the voice of an angel.
He's an excellent
very
singer.
gravelly angel.
Also, follow him on Instagram. He posts a lot of videos of him singing along with Selena Gomez, like a YouTube video.
A lot
that he sings with.
Listen, no one in this room is hating Vin Diesel either. Listen, the fact that he is such a big D&D guy
also that
is such a selling point for me. I saw him get interviewed once, and what was it? He was asked, like, okay, you're facing down 4 ogres. He's like, what class am I? And they're like, you're a rogue? He's like, what level? I think he was like, 6. He goes, oh, fuck it, I just stab him. Like, I love that. I love this guy.
That's great.
But I want to know why he doesn't like The Rock. Is it jealousy or?
I don't know.
We don't know. There's a lot of rumors.
I don't know. I think that's just partially why. I think because The Rock and Jason Statham are getting their own series.
Oh, are they?
They're getting a spin-off.
They're getting a spin-off.
Oh.
So Jason Statham, also an amazing addition to this cast.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I would like to go through a list of things that these movie series has brought to this world.
Sure.
Gal Gadot. Gadot actually is how you say her last name. Gal Gadot was not a thing until this series. Yeah. And she is a fucking force.
She's very good in the movie.
She is a fucking force. And and it's amazing.
I liked her and Han.
Yeah.
I didn't see the one where that doesn't go so well, but
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so sad.
It's so sad.
The Rock is introduced to the series, and his career. He had a career before this, absolutely, but it was like this is what took him, I think, to the next level. It brings Michelle Rodriguez back from the dead, so total soap opera like storyline, amazing.
Yeah, I do love that.
It's number 7. Like I watched it this morning actually, and I bawled like a baby at the end.
I will say the end of 7 had I didn't, but I did ask myself the question: is a Fast and Furious movie about to make me cry?
It was
like, it was really sweet.
Because that's the thing, is that they genuinely love each other, and you can see that on screen. Yeah. And what in a world where we're like saturated with terrible like reality television, where people hate each other and treat each other
and
like
just
garbage,
bitch and complain.
What better thing is there than watching these people
that love each other?
Okay, so it's like a not superhero version of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. I can see how it's that to a lot of people.
And it's just It's great.
I also like any representation of the American family that's not your actual blood family, because I think this
Fair.
idea of having to bond with the family you're given sometimes can be toxic when you can find a family that it doesn't affect you in a negative way.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I think they do that.
I also
That was fast thinking.
Yes.
did you have any other hates on your list?
Oh boy, did I.
Yeah. Okay, we're ready.
Because I have another really big point that I would like to make.
Well, let's hear it.
This is the only film series that I could find loving articles written in both Breitbart and the New Republic about this series.
Interesting.
This movie,
It's a
this
bipartisan movie series.
This series could heal America.
Oh.
This is something everyone could love.
I don't know if I'm going to sign on fully to that idea,
Yeah.
but I'm with you a little bit. I'm leaning towards your side.
I don't know if Breitbart liking it makes me go like, see, like a little bit.
But I mean, I just love that like two sides could.
It accesses all
It accesses
hearts.
everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you could go to a bar in Alabama and talk to someone about Fast and the Furious, I'm okay with that.
Also, Breitbart being into a movie that has a mostly color cast, like
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
a fair
diverse
point.
cast.
Ooh.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Yeah. Okay. That's a really solid point.
Mhm.
All right. Here's one thing I didn't like. It's obvious that women don't get the best shot in there.
Right.
And this is never highlighted more than the character of what's her name, Elsa, or
Oh, is this the British-
Elena.
Elena. Yeah.
Elena.
First of all, why was she with Dom at the end of 5? That made no
Because
sense.
I
There's
already
nothing.
explained it to you. Every good guy turns on their side because they love them so much. They're so charismatic.
Yeah, but like there was no chemistry there.
Yeah.
And then 7, she's just fridged. She's just
Because
girlfriend
Letty.
in the fridge.
Because Letty.
Because of Letty.
Letty returns
Letty's
in
his
number
love.
6.
I know, but it was just also so just.
Yeah, but then she became a single mother, a powerful, self-sufficient single mother.
The look in your eyes for the podcast audience says she did not really feel
I don't
what she
fully
just.
believe
Yeah,
that.
there we
But
go.
only because she becomes a damsel in distress. But
Mm-hmm.
I still don't mind her existence.
I don't know. It comes back to the point of like in this day and age, you could try the barest bit harder and lose nothing and gain so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that,
All right, we will contend you on this
Yeah.
one. We're with, yeah.
That's my big thing about all of it.
When it comes to the dialogue, though, I do wonder if there's any improvising with these actors who are not writers.
I bet that they
Vin Diesel for
they do
sure.
that.
Vin
Yeah.
Diesel, I'm sure, insists that he improvises his own lines.
I'm
Because
complaining
he
about it, but I want to be on there. Like,
Also because he probably thinks he's like understands exactly how he would respond. And,
I know
well,
what Dom wants.
he would know, yes,
I'm in his brain.
he would know exactly what Dom
You
would
do
say
an
in that
amazing
situation.
Dom character, by the way.
Thank you. I
Practice.
totally worked on it. Yeah, I was like, I can get Diesel.
Yeah.
I just keep going back to like how often he's just like, Dom, we can't do this thing. We're gonna do this thing. Done. I guess you did it.
He's a great
You
orator.
saved the day.
He's a great orator.
And I will say this is both a positive and a negative. And this is my last point. And we've already touched upon it a bunch, but when Jason Statham giving a baby headphones because he's in a gunfight
love
on
it.
a plane
Love that
That's
scene.
my favorite scene.
is
That's
the
my
most
favorite one of
practical
all the
thing that
movies.
happens in all Fast and the Furious movies. He gave the baby headphones. That was
Yep.
the only practical thing that's ever
Giving these
happened in
headphones.
these. And that scene was great. Like, I don't.
That scene's amazing.
It was
Jason
fantastic.
Statham is one of the best like physical fighting movie stars
Yeah.
of all time.
Oh, that was and that was like again another like choreographed practical scene, like something you could actually see happening.
You mind?
Ella. Jesus. I'm gonna kick her out just 'cause she's
I don't know if I'm going to keep this part in, but the dog is so cute, but eating a squeaky toy and running away.
Go get it.
Oh, it's not closed. That dog. I love that dog.
It's pretty cute.
I said it
like
with
that
malice
one-
in my voice,
I
but
like
I
that-
love that
I
dog.
like that she looked up at you and you're like, do you mind? And she immediately just started looking
Yeah.
as she was looking at
She's
you.
like, I do mind. This is my
I think
house.
that was dog for what you gonna do about it? Yeah.
You try and take this ball from me. I'm
Yeah.
real fast.
Yeah, no, the practical effects are amazing, and like again, I can't say it enough. As someone who's an avid comic book fan, that's a hell of a way for them to do character turns from villain to good guy. Like,
Yeah.
you love Jason Statham in that movie. You get why he and Dom are cool at the end because after all this shit, he killed Han, he killed a bunch of you, and you're like, we good.
Yeah.
And I would be too, because I fucking love him after that scene.
I think these characters, they live in a world of chaos and they know how to navigate it. And when they find another kindred spirit who also understands the world of chaos, they're like, how could I turn you away from this family?
You know, I did find all the family stuff very tongue-in-cheek when it started, but it's starting to grow on me.
Is it because it's also because you believe that they are really family in real life?
Yeah.
That's what
I
I'm
do.
saying. That's what's so.
I need a special Fast and the Furious Christmas special. That's what I need to finish my life.
I will say I absolutely loved how after he died, they just said Brian and Mia get to have their life together.
That's what.
like.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean. The ending of that movie
Yeah.
is heartbreaking. I cried like a baby
I
this
did
morning.
too. And Paul Walker was such a cool dude too.
It was just.
Was he?
And he died in a
Yeah.
car. Like, of course, he died in a
Died in
car.
a car, yeah. There's some story about like he met some guy at the jewelry store who wanted to buy his fiance a ring and was like ended up buying her something else, and then he bought it for him because
God
he was just
damn.
like, I have too much money. Here, you deserve to have this. And then asked the guy to not tell anybody about it was him, and then the story came out after he died. I also read this on the internet, so I don't know how true it is. But there's a few
I
things
believe
I
like
just
this,
want to
what
believe
he
it.
did.
I just
Yeah.
want to
He's a
believe
good
it.
dude. He's a really good dude.
They all are. It's just like, and that's the thing is like especially when Caitlin and I even discussed we don't want to talk about this anymore because it's just like we feel blue in the face about it.
Yeah.
But it is really good to see a whole bunch of people on screen that I feel like are good people and deserve
none of
they
them have been
deserve
called
their
out
success.
for harassment.
That's
Oh,
what I
that's
mean.
true.
That's what
Yeah.
I mean. Like I feel like these are good people who deserve their success, and I really want to believe in them.
Yes.
If The Rock turns out to be a bad guy, I don't know what I'm on.
Oh,
with my
no,
life.
my
Did
whole
you
world
not
is
read the
gonna
piece about
disappear.
him?
No.
The profile on him that was like at the end the woman was like, I would vote for him for president.
Oh.
Like she was so on his side. He's like the
Yeah.
nicest human.
Can you imagine though for a second? Because The Rock
No.
is a stepdad. He's got stepkids.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what it must be like to be the dad when the guy replacing you is the fucking Rock? Like
no.
for not just
not just
like
handsome and huge and successful.
and like
but
you see
also
that like
so
I just
nice.
look at you and I know that you're better in bed than I am. But my kids, they have to love you, and if they don't, they're wrong. You're The Rock.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love you.
I love you.
The Rock is
I can't even
still-
hate you. That's what sucks.
The Rock is still best friends with his ex-wife. She's his manager.
What the fuck
Yeah,
is The
yeah.
Rock?
He's an enigma.
He not only is better than in bed than you, you predominantly being the dad that's in the situation.
You,
as
the
I'm
being the
placing.
royal you, being
Being the
everybody
royal
on
you.
earth.
Everyone.
Yeah.
But if you were like, I just feel bad that you might be better than me, he'd be like, it's cool. I'll get in there and I'll help you. I'll cheer you on.
Let me teach you. Let me teach you some of my
Help you out.
moves.
I'll show you some of my moves. It's cool. I'll share them.
A question we ask on our podcast to our guests is what would your sex pyramid be?
Right.
And The Rock is very popular because he just would be so positive.
yeah.
It's a very popular
Also,
choice.
he's just like good, athletically. Like if you have trouble being in a position, he got
he
you.
will
Yeah.
hold the whole
You know,
team up.
he's
The
a good
whole
spotter.
pyramid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he strikes me as the guy that would be like, hey, whatever you're okay with.
Yeah.
You set
we're
the
all
line
good.
and I will
Yeah,
respect it.
I don't think consent is an issue with The Rock.
No.
I really don't.
No.
I think he very much is about asking maybe too many times. Actually, that might be a criticism. He might ask too many times.
Yeah.
But even
Rock-
I'll take it.
That's
I'll
the thing.
take it.
Rock is too nice in bed. He's too nice. Too. Is this okay? Yes, Rock. It's fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine. But if he's kind of got like a Lenny problem where he might break you,
Yeah,
so
that's
he has to make sure.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's fucking Superman. Like, you know what you're getting into, but all right, good luck. If you can pull it off, more power to you.
Oh, love him. Love him.
Oh, while we're on The Rock, too, Caitlin and I's favorite thing about the entire series is how wet he is throughout the
Oh my
entire
God.
movie.
Yeah.
In 5, when he
So
confronts
slick.
him in Brazil, why is he
He's
that
just
wet?
Soaking
know.
wet. His beard is wet. And then also he in the 7th movie, they go to his desk and he's actually wearing a rag and
Oh, yeah, that's
it's patting himself.
I think baby oil was in his rider for the 5th movie, and then they just went with it.
They're like, this is his look. Wet.
Can you imagine being in his life and calling him Dwayne? Like, no, you're like Bruce Wayne. Batman has become the real you.
Yeah.
You're the Rock.
I'm
Dwayne
sure-
is just a face you wear.
I have this fantasy about The Rock. It's not going where you think it's going.
I honestly, I believe it can go anywhere.
Okay. So I'm
The Rock.
5'2". I'm a tiny lady. But I feel feisty, right?
You're feisty.
I really would like to adopt The Rock as my son so that when he does something that upsets me, I can yell at him, but I have to point up. And then his big giant form has to like slump over and be like, I'm sorry, Mom.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. And it's like, now carry me to your room.
You could absolutely like Yoda backpack the Rock.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Oh, I would love to
Yeah.
see that.
There's nothing about The Rock that, I mean, he's definitely like super hot, but to me, it's more like, I don't know.
That's like being held.
I want to be in his pocket.
Yeah, it's like sleeping on a panda bear. Like
You
it's
wanna-
like the same kind of fantasy.
You want him to become the cavern.
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask you out of curiosity.
Okay.
What is it before you watch these movies that was like holding you back from wanting to
Yes, because
invest
you were a
time?
virgin. This is your first time.
Yeah,
will.
and you were saying you were at a 7 on your scale. So that was from kind of like osmosis through the society of what's going on.
I've been hurt before, like with the DC movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Of when
we
I-
all have.
Because, like, I love
Zack Snyder.
action movies, but shitty dialogue, shitty characters, lazy writing takes me out of it. It really does ruin. I can't just turn my brain off and enjoy shitty TV. I don't have enough time for it.
Yeah.
I need to actually be engaged in a story. Otherwise,
Right.
I don't see the point. And like the 5th one was sounds like it was written by a 4th grader who just Googled what sex was for the first time. And like it's just that schlocky. And I'm like, you have all this opportunity, especially when there are so many actors and writers who want that so bad and who would do amazing things with the opportunity of that platform.
Right.
Sure.
Why make something less than your best?
Yeah.
That's disrespectful to everybody who wants to be where you are.
Mm-hmm.
It's true, but
a
that's
good
not the
point.
way the world works.
It's not, but it's
Like
the
we
way it
wouldn't-
should.
We wouldn't have like the president we have if that was the way the world
Yeah,
worked.
unfortunately.
God, no.
I also think sometimes these movies and sometimes the Fast movies suffer to like too many cooks in the kitchen. 7's writers, the studios are super invested. Sometimes there's like 4 different production teams. Like, you know, when you have to satisfy that many people, it can turn into a clusterfuck.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
this is the most successful.
Whereas
film
Zack Snyder has
series.
no excuse. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, and also the problem with that is he has material he's working off of.
Yeah.
So like he already has a skeleton. It's not that hard.
We don't have to go into that.
You're working hard to fuck that
Yeah,
up
no.
at that point.
Listen,
but like
no one. I have not been able to find experts for Zack Snyder yet.
but he but this series, it's plotting its own course. This is the most successful series of for Universal, so they're basically milking the tea. Like it's clear that that's what they're doing. There's a lot of product placement, so like I can't forgive it. I can't forgive.
I just remembered he was like,
The
"Hey, would you like a
Corona.
beer?
The
Corona.
Corona.
Fuck you. Who
Corona
drinks
is-
Corona?
Corona's very popular globally.
Yes,
it's
it is.
fine, but who's its favorite? Like, if it's your favorite, fuck you.
I actually, okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just literally had this discussion about Corona this week. So a lot of people I work with are like from South America or Central America. They're all Hispanic
Sure.
of some kind. And I was talking about Mexican restaurants, and they said they went to a Mexican restaurant and they didn't have Corona, and that was a sin. And I was like, I would think there's a lot more, like, that's a domestic.
There's El Presidente.
There's a lot more,
Negro
like,
Modelo,
there's a lot more
there's-
options that would seem more authentic to me. And they're like, no, Corona is the beer.
Corona is an American Mexican beer.
Yeah,
I
but-
It's
feel.
a
no, no.
Tex-Mex beer.
But
Yeah.
but these are all like that. These are people who have accents or first generation. Like they understand what the expectation of those types of restaurants are. And so I was like, okay, well, I believe you.
I believe it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
so I was
wait.
like, okay, fair
Maybe,
enough.
but
Hold on.
maybe that's a correlation of like Budweiser, right? Like we would never go into a restaurant and order a Budweiser. We might order a Sam Adams or St.
Yeah.
Polly's Girl or something. But Budweiser is the American beer.
We wouldn't because we're all rational adults. However,
Right.
once when I was a waiter at this like pizzeria place up in Enwell, New York, I remember the guy who came in and was like, do you guys have any good beer? And I was like, oh yeah, we've got Lake Placid Ubu Ale. We've got, I listed off all these
Right.
things. He goes like, do you guys have Bud? And I was like,
That's
no,
not
we don't
good
have Bud. He goes, I thought you said you had good beer.
No.
And I almost showed him the fucking door. Like,
No.
I poured him a glass of water. It's like, this will taste better. Like,
Right.
it's the.
Do you want me to pee and put it in the freezer and then we'll talk?
I've never almost smacked a customer before,
Yeah.
but that
That's
time
really
it
funny.
damn near happened.
That's really funny.
Short aside, when I was working in the Upper East Side in this like restaurant that was trying to be fancy, bartending, my boss said to me, he said, if somebody asks you for a Bud Light, say, does this look like a restaurant that has Bud Light? And I've got
Great.
to say that to customers. It was very fun. Because they'd be like, no. And I'd be like, then no.
Yeah,
Logic.
that's funny.
That's
But
excellent.
it is douchey a little
Very
bit. but-
bougie.
It's douchey, but here's the thing: if you have your pick of cheap beers, there are better options.
Oh, yeah.
There's PBR. There's even Tecate.
Coors
like-
Light is fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fine. Compared to Bud Light, it's fine.
yeah. I'll take a Coors Light before I take that. I'll take a Miller Light before I'll take that.
Oh, an MGD?
Yeah, I will not take a Milwaukee's Best.
No. Or a natural ice.
Ugh.
So I've had my fill of natty,
Of natty ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a lot of those.
All right, now that we've taken down big beer, let's
Bring it back on course.
bring it
Back on,
Back on course.
back on course. Yeah, that's the best. There was one line in
on the
in
race course. Race wars.
Race Wars. The fact that nobody was like, "Ooh, do you think maybe we should?"
No, they went there. It
They
was
went
great.
there. Yeah.
What is Dom?
What is Vin Diesel?
I don't know if he's the same thing as Dom is, but I'm wondering
I
what
think
Dom is.
his...
He's Italian, or
No, his mother is Italian.
I don't.
I think his stepfather was Puerto Rican, so he
was
like
black.
claims that
Gotcha.
heritage, but his father is black.
Yeah, I
Because
that's
his
Dom
father
or
wasn't
that's
in the
Vin
picture.
Diesel?
Diesel.
He grew up in New York. We've looked this up.
I
a few
know,
times.
I don't remember.
But I
now.
think his stepfather is Hispanic or something. That's how he connects with that part of his family. But I think his mom is Italian, something like that. He's an American
yes, he
in that
is.
way.
Well, there
His mother is an astrologer.
Oh yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah.
Listen, I bet he is very interesting dinner company.
Oh, totally.
I would love it if he or The Rock were my uncle.
Yeah.
Love it.
That'd be the
Or
best.
You know what?
both.
You really should follow
yeah.
all of them on Instagram if you
I
can.
think I follow most of them.
Because
Okay, good.
like Tyrese, Ludacris, The Rock, and Vin Diesel all have videos of them with their kids. Every day they talk about how much they love their kids, and it's fucking uplifting.
Can we talk about how terrible
Roman.
a character Roman
Roman,
is?
yeah.
Like the worst parts of Tej only come out when Roman's around.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Like is he the comedic relief? It's such
He's
a lazy
supposed-
attempt at comedic relief.
He's supposed to be. Absolutely.
He's supposed to be, yeah. He's kind of awful.
Yeah.
I liked him
But
showing
he's also
what-
like the jester for his, like they really don't make his character noble. You know,
I guess
he's
not. And he does provide some entryway for the audience.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But at this point, 8 fucking ones of these in, do we need it?
Well, now it's like, why break it? You know, if it's making all this
Fair.
money.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't.
There's someone in
don't
the
change
theater
something
who
that works.
loves Roman, and every time he speaks, is like, "Ha, this guy." So
I did think the level of Roman in the 8th movie was better. Like they are
Yeah.
starting to get it better.
Yeah.
And they gave him a redeeming moment.
Yes, yeah.
Where he's like, oh, right, he's very good at this.
Yeah.
That's why we keep him around.
Yeah.
And it needed that very badly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they can do redemption arcs.
Yeah.
And they do them quick and tight,
Yeah.
but satisfying. That's
Yeah.
really well done.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite thing about the Fast and the Furious
Oh,
movies, just as
yeah.
storytelling. Just
And that
because that's hard to do.
Well, and
It
then,
does tie up all the loose ends, which a lot of movies don't do, and I like that.
and from the 4th film on, they do start to like they actually answer plot. They like don't just like let a loose thread drop.
Yeah.
Whereas the other series, because it was like all over the place chronologically, that like the first part of the series, like that's why it was like, oh, thank God this
Yeah.
like I'm watching a soap opera now.
Do they have a multi-series plan, or are they just like figuring it out as they go?
I think they're
I
gonna
think
do
they're
it
just
as
figuring it
long
out.
as that
Yeah.
cast says
Yeah.
yes.
Fair enough. There was one other thing I had, and it's a question,
Okay.
because I don't know if this is bullshit or not. In 8, when they have the cables with the Dom's car scene,
Yeah.
and they're like, that thing must be going 1,000 horsepower. No way, that's 2,000. And Statham just goes, try 5. Is 5,000 horsepower a thing that is possible?
Oh, well, let's look.
I would think so. I would think as far as cars go that the car like specs and technology is probably not far off from reality. I would think.
And if it is, how can these greatest car experts in the world not tell the difference between 1 and 5,000? That's a big gap.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess based on this article I'm reading on thedrive.com,
Holy crap! It's $189,000 for that level of an engine.
it's new technology. 5,000 horsepower is new.
Okay, so all right.
This is a big car commercial, these movies.
Oh, absolutely! They're showing
For,
off
like,
the best what
luxury
these
cars.
cars can. Yeah, the best.
That's the whole reason the one movie was in Saudi Arabia, because those are the only people who buy those cars.
Yeah.
Well, when I was watching it, my boyfriend this morning said he goes of all he did start listing off the things that were plausible, and he goes if you were in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, you would totally see those types of cars, and it would not be a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like
I
that's
believe
a real thing. Like,
All right. Do you guys have any closing arguments?
I think
before I make my
I've
final ruling.
I think
I've
I've
said all the things I love.
I think I've made my case.
Here's my thing about Fast Five. It's not a tour everlasting genius, but everyone has a hungover Sunday. Everyone, except maybe Mormons. But even Mormons love these movies for the most part because they're all PG-13. Anyway.
That's true. I did notice that.
Family friendly. Everyone has a hungover Sunday where they're like, I want to watch something. I don't want to invest in a new TV show. I don't want to watch something that's going to scare me or make me feel shitty or be dramatic or be cutesy. What can I watch? The Fast and the Furious movies. And you have 8 to choose from.
Yeah.
Although not all of them are good.
Fast 5 is the best one though because
But you
it
can
has
go 5 up and be good.
the 5th one is so good because the action sequences are so fun to watch and again, like I said, I watched clips of stuntmen doing the like highway scenes. Like a lot of that was filmed in real life. Them jumping off that ravine and the train scene, that was actually done. And it has the best group of the cast. Like that is like the best ensemble that they had of all of the whole series. Even though it's Statham,
So that's your favorite one.
It's my favorite one. Even though Statham isn't in that one, like, but it has Gal Gadot. It has whatever, I forget his name. The actor's name, Han. But it's so good.
Kate, what's your favorite?
I have to say, it's a toss-up between 7 and 8 because they have my 2 favorite scenes. There's the cars going through the skyscrapers.
Yeah.
Is number 2, and number 1 is the baby fighting scene. So it's really
the
hard.
baby
Like,
fighting scene.
I didn't love Charlize Theron as a villain. I didn't like. There are definitely some problems with 8, but because of the baby fighting scene, it might be my favorite.
I think 7 is my favorite, but baby fighting scene is my favorite scene. That is just
7 is so
great.
7 is
7
so
is very,
good.
very good.
And I like the Rock Statham fight.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna have to align with you.
The,
7 is my
the
favorite,
Rock,
yeah.
the Rock Vin Diesel fight is also very good. And
That was also very good.
Oh yes, true.
All right. So we started today with me at a 4.
Yes.
I still am really upset that they can't fix the dialogue. Like, it's not a hard thing to fix. Just try a little bit harder. But I also know that I'm not going to the Fast and the Furious to be stirred on every single level and be swept up
You're
in
going
cinema.
there to have a good time.
Going
And
there
did
to
you
have
have
a
a
good
good
time.
time?
I did.
Did you have a good time talking to us about it?
I did.
All right.
Would you
And I
see the 9th movie?
I would.
Yes! I think we got him.
That's a win for us.
I think I gotta clock this at like a positive 4. Like,
Whoa!
Ding, 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 ding.
yeah, they're fun. They're fun. I will hate watch
Yes.
several scenes. I will watch as long as I get to complain while I watch.
Oh, sure.
Because that's part of the fun for me.
I don't
Yeah,
think anybody
of
would
course.
excuse that. Yeah,
but
it's fine.
yeah, like fuck yes, I'll watch The Rock, Vin Diesel, and Jason Statham,
Perfect.
3 of the most charismatic bald men that ever existed. Hell yeah, they made me
icons.
believe that Statham could go a couple rounds with The Rock in a fight. Which, take a second, no, he couldn't.
He's just really acrobatic.
He's
He
really
can move
acrobatic.
anywhere.
Yeah, but they
So it's like-
do a great
it's-
job of highlighting how fast he is.
Yes,
Yes.
it's the Flash like facing the
Yeah.
Rock. Absolutely.
Oh, all right. Fuck.
Your heart looks fuller.
Yeah, and I'm mad about it.
Just accept it into your life. It'll make your life better.
I like the
promise.
Fast and the Furious. It feels dirty. It feels wrong. Like I'm wearing
But
a
isn't
dirty
that kind of
suit.
good in a way?
No, I'm a bad boy. Okay. Cait, Murda, you guys have anything to plug?
There will be drinking.
Yeah, our podcast.
There will be drinkingpodcast.com. You can find all of our episodes there or on any platform you
comes
listen
out
to
every
your
Friday.
podcast.
It's a
every other
drinking-
Friday.
Every other Friday, sorry. It's a drinking and movies podcast where there's usually just a lot of ridiculousness and fun. You will be on it in our next episode. The Disaster Artist is the episode you're doing with
We
us.
just saw The Disaster Artist, and the
is very
last night it was showing in theaters.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And we got opinions.
And Meredith and I are also working on a super top secret show that we're not going to talk about, but we love
It's sexy.
plugging it.
It's very sexy.
It's very sexy, but it's coming out soon.
Yeah, you guys told me it, and
Shh, can't tell anybody.
I'm not gonna. I'll take this to the grave, friends. But
Or just until it comes out.
just until it comes out.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna be real good.
Okay, good.
Where can people find you guys online?
There will TWBD podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And
And there will be drinkingpodcast.com.
Yep.
And they can email us at twbdpodcast@gmail.com if they're so inclined.
And I
we
recommend
accept
you
dick
be
pics
inclined.
usually.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, why not? We're going to get them anyway without asking, so we might as well.
We're women.
One of my dating profiles says, "Will not send you unsolicited dick pics."
Oh, that's
Probably will
nice.
not send you solicited dick pics.
Oh, okay.
We like solicited.
Think about it. I was
All right,
like,
that's fair then.
solicited ones. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll reassess some things.
Okay, yeah.
I would like to plug You Are Not Alone, an uplifting show about depression, Monday, February 12th at 9 p.m. at the Magnet Theater here in New York. Go to magnettheater.com, classes and shows, offered a bunch in sketch, improv, acting, all that good stuff. If you'd like to email this podcast, you can at don'tmindpodcast@gmail.com or follow us at don'tmindpodcast on all the things. Or if you just kind of like my voice, but want to hear it in words you read, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Hey, it's Aaron Gold. Yeah.
Hey, Aaron Gold.
Hey, it's me.
There you are. I just say it out loud and I'm there on the Twitter.
That's how you summoned me.
Oh.
Yeah. Cait,
Don't need any like components to summon you.
What attracts most Jews?
What about this Jew that's in front of us?
Oh, this one?
Trips to Florida.
You dangle a better Fast and the Furious script in front of me. I'll chase after
And
it.
you'll just appear.
I'll be like, dialogue corrections?
Ooh.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you
And
for
I'll see
having
you
us.
on your podcast. And as always, keep on minding.